the difference between men and women when it comes to sex. This whole time on this today, bro, we've been speaking of okay, being frequency and women need it emotionally, men need it more frequent, and I think we came to a conclusion of 3 or 4 times is I guess ideal situation. But why is there still like such a disconnect? You know what I'm saying between men and women when it comes to sex? Like men ain't happy sometimes with sex frequency. Females ain't happy with you know what I'm saying. They partner, I guess, not being satisfying to them. You know what I'm saying. So like, what's the disconnect here? They're like, why?
So what
That's the open floor.
is there
That's
such
open
a
floor.
difference between men and women pertaining
I'm
to
probably
sex?
gonna ruffle some feathers, but I think women have gotten comfortable or complacent with using the I'm tired, I had kids, I cooked, I cleaned. I think women are using those excuses a little too often. And I think society accepts that
I agree.
where because and I think it's because society drives women always being like emotionally met, like women empowerment, women this, women that.
Yeah.
You never really hear much about men and like what men need to fulfill their needs emotionally or physically. So I think women kind of run with that, and we forget that men are human too, and they have emotions as well. They have needs and they have physical needs. They can't just sit and provide. Granted, I'll be the first to say that I didn't come to this realization until I went to therapy. So I'm not gonna act like I'm above all. Like I'm definitely not gonna do that. However, I realized that being in tune with my husband's emotions leads to more physical intimacy between us. So, like, I think women are different when it comes to sex because, to be quite honest, women are selfish. We kind of want our emotional needs met and all this, and that. And we kind of feel like sex is a reward. Like we feel like we're like it's a prize to have sex with us. So if you're not doing certain things, then we're not gonna have sex with you.
That's
Even
what I
if
was
we're
gonna
not
ask you. Do you
even if
think
we're
they
not
do it on
even like
purpose?
no, I don't think women are doing it. I think some women do hold sex on purpose, but I think it's just so ingrained in us that subconsciously we shut down and don't want to have sex when our needs are not being met. But that's kind of selfish in a way. You know what I mean? So I don't even think people like purposely do it. I think some people do, but I think it's just so ingrained in us that that's how we were raised. Like, oh, don't give anybody your coochie. Don't do it. Like it's a prize. It's a you know what I mean? So we treat it as that even within our marriage. And I feel like once you marry that person, they've already won the prize. So why
Okay.
continue that narrative with your husband, if that
Mm.
makes sense?
I like that take.
So um I think that's the biggest disconnect. I think women need to be a little more less selfish, and I think men need to be a little more emotional.
I like that take, bro. I like that take. Especially the points where you were saying that women maybe had it ingrained in them for so long to where it just might be a natural thing to the point they're not even noticing no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked the question of, do you think they're doing it on purpose? But you was like, okay,
No, I
not
don't
so.
think so.
I personally think some women. I think a majority of women do it on purpose. I think majority of women know that niggas want sex and niggas want to like be on that, and they use that to leverage. Okay, I'm gonna make this nigga act right, or how I want him to act. And if he don't, you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna get the sex. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the relationship, I'm talking primarily in relationship. A nigga will like if he's not doing what he needs to be doing in her eyes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She might withhold sex from him. You know what I'm saying? And then have him go through that feeling or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To where he's not satisfied, and she's pretty much holding the cards. That's kind of why I had that question earlier. You know what I'm saying? Who's more in control of the bedroom? Because I think on that part, I think the women are playing a game of control. You know what I'm saying? Of the bedroom on that side. You know what I'm saying? They're controlling the access of the bedroom. by trying to being denied a man or whatever in the relationship of what's going on. Give me a second. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Who's that, Casey?
But I do feel like
Yeah.
listen, I'm all for what y'all saying. To be honest with you, I support it 100%. But I do feel like there are some niggas, and I apologize in advance, my brothers, but there are some niggas that probably where it makes sense, and you can't blame the woman for holding the box. Like, nigga ain't taking out trash, nigga ain't washing out the dishes, nigga ain't take me out to eat in 4 months. Nigga just coming down here, just whatever he wants he just get it and he disappeared for a month. Like, I get why some women be like, yo, like, you ain't doing your job.
But what about the niggas that are doing their job and still don't get it? You know what I'm saying? What about the niggas that doing their shit and they still, you feel me, dog, get held under a certain thing? You know what I'm saying? Because there are just like niggas that ain't doing the shit. There's niggas that doing the shit and still not getting what?
Yeah, so
I don't want to say reward. You know what I'm saying? But they're still not getting what should be natural inside the relationship or the process of exchange. You know what I'm saying?
For the ones that are doing their job and they still not getting it, that I'm completely aligned with y'all when y'all talk about just how women were probably raised and how some of that stuff ingrained in you, and you not wanting to like give him what he, the prize that he's already won. But I just feel like, we're making generalizations, but in some cases it makes sense when a woman is holding the box away. Because I know there were times that I wasn't being the way I should have been, and I wasn't getting the box, and then I was being frustrated by that, and it was like that I deserved to get the box, and I was like, okay, I got to start like acting right. So I don't know.
No, of course, I definitely think there's always certain situations or outliers. So I definitely agree with you. I think my main perspective or aspect or point that I was trying to drive across is that women tend to only worry about like how their emotional needs are being met in a relationship, and men are not really like a priority in like what their emotional, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think a lot of women take into consideration what a man needs out of a relationship. They're kind of more self-focused, and I just think if women take the time to meet the men emotionally, and again, it just goes back to men don't really express emotions, so women don't know how to tap into men's emotions. But men have emotions. So